Here we have the old Pringle vacuum pump. It was here during those epoch-making days of '79 where Edison tested hundreds and hundreds of lamps in order to obtain one that was stable and would fill the requirements necessary for electric distribution. It happened on the 18th of October, 1879, that Edison had completed another experimental lamp in which the light-giving element was composed of a cotton sewing thread. On October the 19th, it was a nice Sunday morning, Edison inserted the lamp here in the pump, and I got the pump to begin to operate. You see, the mercury from this reservoir descends here and ascends here, and it overflows here and falls down in cylinders, columns of air and columns of mercury, and that keeps on going. As the air gets more and more rarefied, the columns of air and the columns of mercury decrease in size. Edison was sitting in the chair, watching the operation, watching anxiously as those columns became smaller and smaller, while I kept on with the pump. Now and then it was necessary for me to take the mercury out of this jar here and place it up, pour it up again in the reservoir. That process continued for some hours, when at last the metallic clicking began to make itself known. Edison knew that a tolerable good vacuum was already on hand, and he stepped up from his chair and lit the old alcohol lamp and began to heat the bulb of the lamp. His object was to expand the air and to dry it. He did that many times. Then, as the vacuum began to appear better, he took one extremity of the current, this wire here, the other being already connected to the battery, and began to dope the lamp just for an instant. And the vacuum was depressed. A burst of occluded gases got out. We waited a while. Then he did that again. And so on it continued for some hours. The time of duration increased as well as the strength of the current, until at last the current was left on the lamp. And then we ran the pump yet for an hour to be sure that a good vacuum was on hand. Then Edison told me to call Boehm, the glass blower, and he then, with his alcohol lamp, began to blow and seal it off here. The lamp was finished. The lamp was now ready for the test. This lamp, like other lamps that we had been constantly testing, showed at the first none of the remarkable requirements or qualities that Edison was seeking for. We did not know that this lamp was going to be the Koh-i-Noor, the electrical one, that was to give the world a new art of illumination. We did not know that this lamp was going to have a durability that would at last satisfy Edison and tell him his great work in completing or overcoming the last obstacle in his conceived system of electrical distribution was at hand, finished. So when the lamp was sealed off, I put it on the life test. That is the death watch, as we called it. After I had put the lamp on the stand for the life test, I connected it to the current. Edison pulled his chair over, and I went back a little and began to watch the lamp. I might say Batchelor was with us on that Sunday, and some of the boys in the evening that had nothing to do came in. There was Upton, Cruzy, Boehm, who had come back from New York, came in, Lawson, and that was a usual occurrence on a Sunday. But after all had left, Edison and myself were the only ones left that stayed here to watch the lamp. Every now and then, Edison would interrupt the current and take a look to see if there was any bright spots, which in reality were weak spots, to see if there was any flaw or any symptom that might show that the lamp was on its way to expiration. Well, the 19th of October passed. The 20th of October came. And in the morning we were relieved a few hours by Mr. Batchelor, Mr. Upton, and Mr. Force. The lamp held out heroically that day. And in the evening, we again were at the death watch. To make a story short, the lamp passed through, and we come now to the 21st of October, 1879. The lamp had held out heroically. There was no spot. There was no flaw. Edison seemed well pleased. The boys from all the departments came in to see the little wonder, to see the lamp that was now approaching 40 hours, a feat which Edison had not done before. Well, the time passed, and we come to the afternoon, to the 21st of October, 1879. The lamp had held out. Edison said, if I can make a lamp that'll hold out 40, 45 hours, I can make one that'll last 80. And if I make one that'll last 80, I'll make it last 100, 150, and so on. And in his enthusiasm then, as the lamp had already burnt for over 40 hours, he asked me to put on another battery. That meant 2 volts more. And the lamp, of course, got brighter, dazzled more. Put on another. I put on another battery, and the lamp began to get white. Then Edison asked me to put on another, and the lamp got brilliant white, dazzled wonderfully, and then all of a sudden expired. The expiration of that lamp on that October day, 1879, meant its birth. The birth of the first practical lamp was here. But he also tried many other things. And among those things was graphite. In the latter part of 1880, in the fall, he installed a hydraulic press with the object of compressing graphite into a filament. Many thousands of such graphite filaments were made. They gave a brilliant light. They had all the qualities that were necessary for distribution, but they had no light. It seemed that the graphite could not be combined leaf for leaf together. It was only pressed, and when the heat of the electric current passed through them, it loosened all contacts and they crumbled together.